All right, guys, how's it going? So today I have reviewed the Spanish football dailies, the print media, if you like, Marca, AS and Sport. I haven't been to my cafe because it's closed today, but I have reviewed these at home. Although this isn't a physical newspaper, this is the exact print version, if you like, what you would get if you went and bought it in the shop. There are regional versions of some of these publications, and I know which ones to keep an eye on for you. What I can tell you right now, if you haven't got a lot of time or if you can't be asked to sit through the video, is that Trent is obviously mentioned today. This is in AS. And basically this article here behind me, which I'm going to review in full, I'm going to go through the full article with you. To summarize, it basically says that Trent Alexander-Arnold is playing you really, or he's being coy, he's not being honest. He can do this as much as he wants, but he knows that he has told Real Madrid that he wants to go and play for them. It's giving false hope to Liverpool fans, etc., etc. That's what that article is about. There's also an article in AS about Mo Salah, saying, he's unstoppable, Liverpool are unstoppable. A big article, but basically just saying how great Mo Salah is, talking up all his stats. We're going to go through that as well, but there's nothing in there suggesting that anybody's interested in him or anything. No new contract claims from over here or anything like that. That is basically it in a nutshell. There was nothing in Marca today of interest for you. There was something in Sport, which is the pro Barcelona newspaper, AS and Marca, Real Madrid. They do cover Barcelona, and the same with Sport. They touch on Real Madrid as well. In fact, today's Sport is talking about Arnold's contract is prepared, and I'm going to go into details as to what they think is happening. So a bit of a different angle. Do you know what I mean? Like Sport, if you think about it, they've got no reason to give you Real Madrid propaganda because they hate the fuckers. You know what I'm saying? So we'll go through that as well, okay? But I've checked, there's nothing in the papers, anything to do with Mamadashvili. There's nothing about Zubimendi today, Cubo, anything else that might be of interest to you. We're not just focusing on Trent with these newspapers, okay? If you're new to my channel, I buy these newspapers every day so that people can see what is and isn't in the newspapers over here in Spain. We don't take it as gospel. We're just saying, hey, this is what the fuckers are claiming. You digest it and, form your own opinions. But before I was doing the review of these newspapers, I did them right through the summer for Zubimendi, that mainly, and Mamadashvili. When the window closed, I stopped buying them. And then we were seeing the LFC clicker journalists saying, oh, Trent's in the newspapers every day with Real Madrid. And I was saying to you guys, that ain't true, guys. So I started buying them again to show you how often he is in the papers and how often he isn't in the newspapers. And if you follow my daily updates and my daily reviews of the papers here, you will know that up until recently, we've hardly heard anything. Maybe 3 times or something since we played them in the Champions League, but in the last week it's been quite intense, which is what I expected to see, to be honest. I think everything that we've collectively predicted or expected to see, we've seen, right? So I'm going to go through everything with you in this video. It might be a little bit long, but I can't make it any shorter, otherwise I could be cutting key bits out, and that wouldn't be fair. I don't want to just plant little bits here and there. I want you to read everything that they're claiming, and like I said, we don't take what they're saying as fucking gospel. But it's still of interest. I find it of interest personally, and I know some people do. If you're one of those people that doesn't find it of interest, you don't need to tell us in the comments. Just don't watch the fucking video. All right? So let's get started. So this article here, let me find it. This basically says, basically playing the game. All right? Alexander-Arnold plays it coy, or Alexander-Arnold is playing the game. His gesture after scoring against West Ham stirs Anfield. In other words, like this has set everybody off, right? Which we know because we've discussed it multiple fucking times, right? So this is translated, so forgive me if maybe I don't make sense, you know what I'm saying? A goal, a gesture, and a transfer that's slowly cooking. Alexander-Arnold's contract expires next June, and at Real Madrid, as reported by AS, there is huge optimism about closing his signing this January. In other words, they're going to conclude a free transfer, for the summer, right? That's basically the claim that we've all been told, I think, for months, really. But they're saying there's huge optimism, right? So Real Madrid are confident that this is going to happen. They say this information has been picked up in England, especially by the Daily Mail. I mean, there's multiple reports in England. I wouldn't be able to tell you whether that's true or not. There's multiple reports. I don't know what Whether that's true or not, you'd have to form your own opinions on this. One thing I'm not going to do is go rummaging through the Daily Mail to see what they're wafting on about. But Trent, in his last match with Liverpool in 2024, just a few days ago against West Ham, made headlines, and a lot of them. This time on the field. In the Reds' 5-0 victory at the London Stadium, the fullback scored the 4th goal for Arne Slot's team, his first of the season with the English club. Immediately after, Alexander-Arnold cupped his hand to his ear, a gesture widely commented on across social media and TV studios around the world. The media are jabbering, and it's all just noise and gossip, wrote many followers. But beyond the fact that many Liverpool fans saw Trent's celebration, beyond the fact that many Liverpool fans saw Trent's celebration as positive regarding his possible continuity at the club, possible renewal, he has always celebrated his goals by telling people to be quiet or by directing his gestures to the stands. You can form your own opinion as to whether you think that's true or not. I've got the newspaper here trying to play this one down, I think. In other words, saying, he does it all the time, stuff like that. I don't think we need to focus too much on that. But anyway, the one who openly commented on it was the coach himself when asked about it in the post-match interview on Sky Sports. Slot said, I don't think it's negative at all, his contract situation in brackets. He continues to play very well. The way he celebrated his goal says it all. Maybe something else is going on with Trent for the outside world, but I'm happy with the three of them, obviously Virgil, Van Dijk, Mo Salah and Trent. The way he celebrated his goal says it all. I've seen a lot of you guys commenting saying, yeah, he didn't really fucking celebrate it, to be honest, but I don't know if you would agree with that statement. The article continues, a kind of blah, blah, blah that has confused even more so a Reds fan base that desperately wants to keep a player who was on track to be a Liverpool legend. But not only the fans want Alexander-Arnold to keep defending the Anfield shirt. Besides Slot and the Liverpool player, another cryptic message was left on social media by homegrown player Curtis Jones with a photo of Trent's goal celebration. Quote, the Scousers in the team. I'm not really sure that's cryptic. Would you say it was cryptic? Whatever happens, so there, with that statement there, whatever happens, that's leaving the door open on it not happening, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying that. I'm not trying to give you any sort of like, maybe it won't happen. I don't fucking know. I'm not a Twitter twat. I don't know. I'm not an ITK or like that. What I'm saying is they're leaving the door open, aren't they? Because they're saying whatever happens, right? The English fullback will start 2025 as a player for his hometown club and the club in his heart. But he is free to negotiate a move. But then they say all of this is just an attempt to play coy. But the situation remains the same. He continues to ignore renewal proposals and has given his yes to Real Madrid, whatever gesture he makes publicly. And that's it. That's the article translated, if you like. So they're saying like, yeah, well, maybe this, maybe that, blah, 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 but it's just an attempt to play coy. The situation remains the same. He's ignoring contract renewal proposals. He's giving his yes to Real Madrid, whatever gesture he makes publicly. In other words, nah, we're not having it. So that's what they're claiming, right? Whether you want to believe it or not, I don't know. I'm just telling you what they're saying, right? So let's have a breakdown of the key points of this. So obviously his contract's up. We know all that shit. They say there is significant optimism with Real Madrid that they could secure this deal in January. Obviously, they talk about the cupping of his hand to his ear. We know about all this. It sparked widespread discussion on social media, with fans interpreting it as a response to rumours about his future. The gesture was widely discussed as either a playful response to the media's speculation, blah, 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 or a sign of frustration. They're basically saying some people think, not the players, frustrated. I'm not sure it's that. And they also talked about, previously celebrating goals with similar gestures towards the crowd or whatever. One thing I will say is some of you said that, his pal Bellingham had made a similar thing in the past. And I saw this video and it was before he went to Real Madrid, and it was almost identical. It was like this, and he went, I'm staying. It looked like he said, I'm staying. Google it or search YouTube. You've maybe got more time to look at it. Man was just a passing thing. But it was the same. It was like, yeah, I'm staying or whatever. And obviously, he didn't stay. But go and have a look, see if you can find it. Maybe you've seen others as well. They talk about, comments. I know they said Jurgen's, Anna Slott's comments, saying it says it's all this celebration. They talk about Curtis Jones saying the scouts are in the team. This message could be seen as a hint of support for his teammate and an indication that Alexander-Arnold is still valued by his fellow players. Despite all the speculation, the situation remains unchanged. He's ignoring the contract offers from Liverpool, favouring a move to Real Madrid, and his gestures on the field seem to be a deliberate attempt to confuse fans and the media with his future still uncertain. I wouldn't agree that this is a deliberate attempt to confuse anyone. This is an attempt to, however way you look at it, he's saying blah, 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 and whether you're saying blah, blah, blah from the fans, blah, blah, blah from rivals, blah, blah, blah from the media, whatever the fuck, he's basically saying, yeah, chat as much as you fucking want. Do you know what I mean? That's what I think. But I don't know. I'm fucking sick of hearing about it, to be honest with you. So I threw all of this data into my AI assistant, which is very intelligent. It's more intelligent than me. And it came back with as follows, right? The article implies that Trent Alexander-Arnold is playing dumb or not being completely honest about his intentions. His actions, including the public gestures and celebrations, are a deliberate attempt to mislead or confuse people, to make it seem that there is uncertainty or ambiguity about his future. It's probably true, that bit, actually. If Trent does that, it does give you the thought of it does make you think, maybe what we're hearing isn't true. It certainly is creating uncertainty or ambiguity about his future. So yeah, the AI is pretty clever, I think. The article suggests that despite these gestures, the reality is that he's continuing to ignore Liverpool's renewal offers and is already inclined to join Real Madrid. The implication is that his public behaviour, this is from the article, the implication is that his public behaviour doesn't align with the actual situation, and he might not be being fully transparent about his intentions. So yes, the article hints that he's not being entirely honest and is using the gestures as a distraction. All right, that's just something for you to consider. Now, I just want to flip from AS. So remember, AS and basically everything that we've gone through so far in this video is coming from a newspaper that is Real Madrid friendly, quite dedicated to Real Madrid coverage, right? We're now going to flip over to Sport, which, is the Barcelona newspaper, if you like. And they ain't going to be doing any favours for them. But you've got to take that into consideration as well, because if they were attacking Real Madrid, there's a reason for that. It's their rivals, if you like, yeah? But this is their angle on it. This is Sport, right? So completely different region. They don't really give a fuck what's happening. I think it's interesting to see what their angle is, okay? And I was surprised to see this in the edition of Sport today. And the headline was, Arnold's contract prepared, yeah? Real Madrid is very serious about getting the services of that's bad translation, it should mean acquiring the services of the English winger. And they basically touch on reports that the White Club has a 4-year contract already prepared. They're saying there's a 4-year contract waiting for him. It says here, actually waiting for the footballer to stamp his signature on it. However, there's now an option of a 4.5-year contract also on the table. Meaning January, that Real Madrid would be willing to do business in January and pay a small fee. But for this, Florentino will have to convince Liverpool to let him leave in January with some money. You know what I mean? So basically Florentino Perez will have to convince Liverpool, sell him to us now in January. We'll give you a bit of money for him. It helps Real Madrid. Liverpool gets something rather than losing, right? But then it says, from Anfield, they are calm, or at least that's what they show in a public way. So in other words, the vibe from Liverpool, the football club, the officials is, we're chilling, we're all right. We're not flapping, right? But that's what they're showing in a public way. That's what Sport are saying. And I find this rather interesting, actually, the sports side of things, because we know these are going to be, running some propaganda here and there. I don't think that applies to every single article. You do get fans, and I'll see them in the comments, saying, it's just Real Madrid fucking mouthpiece. Not everything's bullshit, right? Do you know what I mean? So there has to be some things in there, even if it's just a little bit. that's accurate. But for me, I don't know about you, but I'm interested to see what the Barcelona spin of it is, and that's it. And I think this falls into line with what I've been saying, for several weeks. Well, I don't know if I can say several weeks. I don't know if I can or not. My memory's terrible, but I know that. Let's rewind that. For some time, I have said that the vibe here in Spain, and in Madrid especially, has been that Perez wouldn't want to do business in January because he doesn't like the winter market, wants to save money. Don't think he's done anything in January for 5 years. Maybe some of you will know more than me. But then there was a recent change, if you remember, and that was a couple of weeks ago. It was a couple of weeks ago. It was a Sunday, wasn't it? I may even have been in England at the time. And basically, that it changed to they want to do it in the summer when he's free, but they would be open to doing something in January. I'm sorry, I'm hesitating because I'm not sure it was a couple of weeks ago, and I like to be very, very, as accurate as I can be. If I've said anything there that maybe it was a week ago, I'm not trying to mislead you or anything. I genuinely, we talk about this every day, and I can't remember every fucking thing that everybody says. It doesn't really matter. We know there's been a change very recently that suggests that they would be. I don't think it was a couple of weeks ago. I think what I'm thinking of a couple of weeks ago on the Sunday was Felix Diaz, I think his name is, isn't it? Saying that Real Madrid have to decide whether to go in or not. That's what I think that was on the Sunday. And I think it's been within the last week or so that the media here is saying, they would be open to doing something in January if Liverpool would sell. But the vibe is Liverpool don't want to sell because they remain hopeful that he will extend with them. Maybe not hopeful, but not giving up, all right? And people have said to me, how do these Spanish friends of ours, how can they know what's going on? How come they're saying all this but nothing from Liverpool? And I touched on this yesterday. I'm not really sure what Joyce could say right now. What can he do? Run an article saying Liverpool are losing or they're losing it? I don't think Liverpool can do that. I think what Liverpool do is let's, for 1 minute, think, assume, or let's just, assume that hypothetically he has said, I want to go to Real Madrid. Then if you're Liverpool, you're going to be hoping somewhere along the line that that's going to fall through. And it can fall through. You know what I mean? Things can go wrong. So Liverpool, they're not going to come out and say, we concede he's leaving, while there's still a chance, right? So that's why you're not seeing anything from Liverpool. I think that it's a messy situation in that how you handle that as a club. Let's, for argument's sake, say Real Madrid do make an official approach. The claim here in Spain is that they've informed Liverpool, as they are required to do, that they're going to make an offer in January. The suggestion here in Spain is they will do that early in January, the actual approach to the player. Let's just say they say, yeah, we're going to do it, and he says, yeah, I'm up for it. How do they announce all of that? Do you know what I mean? Like, do Liverpool say, we don't want to get this news out there yet? Does the player come out and say, look, I am leaving at the end of the season? Even if Liverpool and the player say to Real Madrid, we don't want anyone to know about this. Can you imagine these fuckers keeping their mouth shut? I can't imagine it. I think if Real Madrid clinch the signing, if being a key word here, they'll want to tell everybody, because they think they're fucking great, right? I'll piss my pants if he signs a deal with Liverpool, mate. I really would. Right, so that's basically on the Trent front. Like I said, there was a little bit about Salah. Oh gosh, where are we? Under international, maybe? There he is, yes. So yeah, but basically Salah, the best of the best, and they're talking about his numbers and things like that, and just how great he is. Do you know what I mean? Which we obviously know this, but I still like to see other media from around the world talking about Liverpool. And although many people will think the Spanish are shysters because after Trent Alexander-Arnold, this is a very pro article about Liverpool. One thing I will say is all of the media here, the print media, have been really talking about how great Liverpool are at the moment, So, but I'm sure you're not asked about that. It says both the Egyptian and Liverpool are unstoppable both in England and in Europe. Those of Slot are leaders of the Premier League and the Champions League, and on the banks of the Mersey, they want to keep their legend alive. They don't want to walk without Salah, and at his feet, Anfield dreams of the continuity, the renewal, of course, signing a new deal, of one of its legends. And he looks an exceptionally happy man, doesn't he? Which is good to see. So I think that's it, guys, for you in this update on today's Spanish newspapers, if you like, print media. All right. I will be doing a video next about Ornstein's latest comments regarding Trent. I think I'm going, I could have done it last night, but I was a bit tired, to be honest with you. And I know it's out there, you've seen the comments, but I'm going to give my spin on it, my angle on it. And I think I'm going to listen to it. I've got my earphones here somewhere. Where the fuck are they? There they are. Oh, shit. I brought my earphones down. Rather than play the audio to you and possibly get into trouble, I'm going to listen to it and talk to you about what he says. All right, so that's your latest from Spain. Like I say, we don't take what they say as gospel, but it's interesting to see what they say, you know. And the thing is, if he renews with Liverpool, all right, if he does sign a new deal with Liverpool, I'm not really sure what the Spanish have written that we could say they knew fuck all, because what the biggest claim they've said that I can think of is that the deal's 90% done, or the move is 90% done, because the other 10% can't happen until January. He can't do anything. So what they're trying to imply by 90% done is the player wants it, Real Madrid want it, you know, there's no, you know, there's just the paperwork to sort, if you like. The other claim, of course, is that they've all said that he's indicated to Real Madrid that he wants to sign for them. I'm not really sure that the Spanish have actually said anything that they can't get out of, if that makes sense. There's a disclaimer with everything, isn't there? If all goes to plan, you know. You know what I'm saying here? So, me personally, I think it would be fucking hilarious if he stayed at Liverpool. I don't know what your latest vibes are on this. You know, we discuss this every single day of the fucking week. But, you know, I was thinking about this, and I said this to my girlfriend this morning. She's visiting me from England. She's on her own. I'm like, hey, I know you've come to see me, but, you know, it's serious business. We've got to talk, you know what I'm saying? I was saying to my girlfriend this morning, I was trying to explain, because she doesn't follow football, and I was trying to explain to her about Trent, you know, the situation. She knows about the Trent, why I have to go and do the newspapers and things in the morning, because she goes with me. Or when she's in England, I'll say to her, I'm out doing the papers. I said to her, I actually genuinely don't know what the fuck we would be talking about if this situation wasn't rumbling on. But I'm sure when it's all resolved, and I can't wait till it's resolved, there'll be plenty to talk about. So, there you go. All right. Did I do all right? Did I explain it for you? Please let me know. I think I've conveyed what I wanted to do, which was to tell you, I guess, the main part in this video was the original article about Trent, where they're basically saying, you know, he can do all this as much as he wants, but it doesn't change the fact of what he is actually aware of and what he is doing and saying behind the scenes. It's whether you believe that or not. All right, guys. I shall leave you with it. If you appreciate this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please drop your comments. Your comments are the most important thing on the channel. And if you want to buy me a beer, I'm not going to have a beer today, I don't think, to be honest with you, or a coffee, then you can hit the super thanks button. It's the love out under the video, and I will give you a shout out in tomorrow morning's morning briefing. All right, guys. Listen, thanks for watching my videos throughout 2024. Thanks for liking my videos, thumbsing up my videos. Thanks for buying me coffees and beers and commenting and saying nice things and, you know, helping inspire me to keep going. You know, I spoke about this in today's morning briefing that, you know, you guys, you know, you never walk alone. You know, the majority of people, you know, that are here for the right reasons. And you guys, you know, when I have my little personal struggles in life, we all have them. I have ups and downs. Sometimes I read a comment from you guys, you know, when sometimes I think I want to jack it all in, I'm sick of it, I'm fucking depressed. You know, and then I'll get a nice comment from someone that says, I appreciate that, Duncan. I think, yeah, someone appreciates you. You know what I mean? So I want to thank you for all that love and support you've given me this year. And I mean that from the bottom of my fucking heart, guys. I really do. And I hope that we can go through 2025 together, regardless of what happens with these fuckers, and continue to see our club do well. all right? And I wish you all the very, very best from the bottom of my heart to you and your family next year, man. All right, guys, I'll speak to you in a bit. Cheers.